Welcome everyone to the Speaking Part 2 Personal Experience Analysis. I'm just here in the Speaking Part 2 section of the CELPIP library. And before we get started, I want to let you know that we have this really excellent video, Speaking Part 2 Personal Experience Tips and Strategies. That video will guide you with some tips and strategies that we can use for understanding the question, for expanding our ideas. Basically, what I'm going to be illustrating today, that video explains it in more detail for you, okay? So if you'd like to view that video, you can look at the description box and I'll leave a link there, okay? For today, we have lots of examples here in the CELPIP library. We are going to be analyzing a new question from Volume 1 about energetic. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Okay. So, Part 2, personal experience, preparation time 30 seconds, speaking time 1 minute. Talk about a time when you felt very energetic. Wow, okay, feeling energy. Maybe like excitement. Maybe you were starting something new, going somewhere exciting, or meeting with people who were very energetic. Energetic and excited are very similar, okay? What happened? Why did you feel energetic? And why was it so memorable? Okay, everyone, very good question. Now I'm just going to change over to my board here. Okay, here we are. And I am writing, or we're analyzing a 7 to 9 sample answer. Okay, I will be making a video for 5, 6 in the next video. But for now, it's 7 to 9. Okay, what do we need to know about 7 to 9? Well, basically, as the guide will tell you, and I will be using that guide, we need to introduce the question. We need to make sure that we answer the extra questions or the parts of the question, like what happened, why did you feel energetic, and why was it memorable? We need to answer those parts. And also, we need to use some higher level structures. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. And I'll be explaining point by point, illustrating what could be considered higher level for 7 to 9. Okay? I'll be explaining that part. So let's get started. Let's get started by introducing the question. Very important. I'd like to speak about a time I felt very energetic. Well, very direct. Let's just say that. It's very direct. And I wouldn't say that the intro part is one area where you can improve your score. I mean, every part you can, but the intro part is not that necessary. We can say other things like, I'd like to speak about a time when I felt very energetic about something that I was doing and I just was very excited. That is okay. You can do that, but we should try and save that for the end. Okay. We want to try and speak more as we go. Okay. So just very direct and clear, not so strong yet. First of all, this happened when I was a high school student and I was participating in my school volleyball team. Okay. Again, this moment happened, this time happened. Okay, there's lots of things we can say here. What I like about this sentence is it's very direct and clear. Okay. I don't see nothing much. Maybe the sentence structure, it's a long sentence. Okay. We shouldn't be concerned about the sentence structure because it's not writing, but we do need to think about sequencing. Also, I had always played volleyball with my friends, so I loved playing for the team. Okay, I do see one part here, which is the first point that I will say, something that level 7, well, not really 7, but level 8s and 9s, particularly 9s, we should try to do in part 2. What is it? Yes, past perfect. Okay. In part two, it's usually in the past. It's a situation in the past. And so, past perfect would be a good way for you to show your higher level knowledge. And that sentence right here, it's a higher level sentence already because we're using past perfect. I had always played volleyball with my friends. So, talking about here from the past to the past. For example, up to the present, up to now. Up to now, I have always played volleyball with my friends. Up to now, I have always played. Present perfect. But in this situation, it's from the past to the past because this experience about when you felt energetic, that's in the past. So from the past to this past time we're talking about, I had always played volleyball with my friends. Okay, I hope we know that. And if we do, let's use it because that's what we need to try and do in part two. We need to try and see ways where we can increase our score. That's one. Also, of course, expanding our ideas. Level 5 to 6, they want to say one sentence for each part. We need to say a few, okay? All right, so I think we're just going to get to the next idea. Okay. At that time, I remember feeling so energetic because it was the championship game and my team had never been city champions. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Bringing it back to the topic. That's another thing. We always need to make sure that we're on topic. Sometimes lower level speakers, they start speaking about a different thing and not focusing on the topic. So in this case, we want to make sure that we say again the topic. That's really great. I remember feeling so energetic. All right, because it was the championship game. Okay. All right. And my team had never been city champions. Again, past perfect opportunity. So we used it. Good sentence structure. Maybe a little bit higher level championship, champions. This is something that 7 and 8s can't do well. Okay, but 9s, we need to be able to use this kind of language. I need to expand here. We need to say something else. So I think we all had the butterflies during the match. Okay, the butterflies. There you go. High level. Not many students less than 9 knows what the butterflies are. And the butterflies, it means feeling nervous in your stomach. When you feel nervous for something, like a championship game, like a test, we call it the butterflies. There you go. Very strong. And right, so the team's playing in the championship game, so they had the butterflies. And many people have the butterflies when they go do their exam. So there you go. Very strong. The butterflies, and I guess we can say that's an expression. I didn't put that one here, but that is more like an expression. Then the highlight of the night came when I spiked the ball to give us the victory. Again, strong here, strong. Of course, this is a situational time, okay? This person is talking about a sport or a moment when they felt so energetic. Well, it's very situational, and this vocabulary is situational, is what I'm trying to say. Championship, champions, the butterflies, the highlight of the night. But the highlight, the highlight we can use for anything actually. Let's say you're at a work meeting. Well, the highlight of the meeting was, let's say you're in a class. Well, the highlight of the class Maybe you can even say, what's the highlight of the video? The highlight of the video, okay? The highlight is just the best time or the most interesting time, okay? Another strong expression here. Of course, spike the ball, that's more situational, related to this topic, okay? So, very strong idea here. Again, some parts are strong and some parts are not. I remember feeling so energetic, that could be low. But this had never been, and then had the butterflies, and then the highlight of the night, stronger language, okay? So let's get to the last part. Why was it memorable? Personally, that time was so memorable because my team won the city championship for the first time. So we were over the moon. Very strong. Very strong again using over the moon. Here's a chance. We're feeling excited, we're feeling energetic. Wow, we were over the moon. Over the moon means very excited. Okay? So also I really like the sequence here with personally. Remember, this is called part 2 personal experience. So that's why we should say personally. Okay? Personally is the right word to end with. All right. So we were over the moon. Okay? Great expression. Very great expression. Simple expression, common expression, but still it's great if we can use it in our speaking. Okay. All right. And we should expand. And also, I was selected as the game's MVP. So I couldn't have been more thrilled. Again, very strong here. Now, this language is strong, but I want to say that it is speaking. It's not like we're speaking academic here. And so let's keep in mind that what I mean by strong is that it's expressing the ideas in a strong way. I was selected as the game's MVP. I was just talking with my class about this. Was selected. Passive. It's not very common to speak in passive form, but here we're doing it. Why? Because let's remember, when we use passive, we don't know who did the action. So it's different if I say, and also, the coaches selected me as the game's MVP. You see, the coaches did it. But in passive form, many times when we're just giving information, we use passive form because it's not so important who did the action, who did it. It's not important. It's more important that I was selected as the game's MVP. MVP, most valuable player. Okay, so very good. Passive, there's a chance to use passive there, okay? So I couldn't have been more thrilled. Couldn't have been. Wow. Past modals. Past modals. Very strong usage. So when we use past modals, we want to say, for example, in the present tense, we want to say, I could do it. Let's say I couldn't do it right now. I couldn't do something. That means now, can't. Now, if I say in the past modal, I couldn't have done it. Couldn't have done it. Modal with present perfect. That means I didn't do it. So did not. So here, the expression is I couldn't have been more happier means I was so happy or so thrilled, energetic, excited. That's what it means. If I say here, I could have been, I could have been more thrilled. It means I was not thrilled. Okay? But we're saying couldn't have been more thrilled means I was so thrilled. More than I could ever. So, very good example again. This example, I guess, shows us the sevens and the nines very well. Now, the sevens start very simple and they say simple words. They may not even say, I had always played. Maybe I always played volleyball with my friends. Level 7 could say that. Also, I always played volleyball with my friends, so I loved playing for the team. This right here, 7, you can speak it. 7, it's not really even about using higher level forms or even using higher level vocabulary. For 7s and 8s, it's all about completing the question, speaking the whole time, and not making, very important, not making simple errors. Level 7s, you can't, for this question, 7, 8s, you cannot make errors in past tense. Let's not even talk about level 9. 9s, absolutely not. You cannot. So first 7 and 8s, you cannot make any simple errors and give a full response, and that's enough. We don't need to really worry about the language or stronger language, okay? But I hope you can understand this one well, 7s and 8s. Now, for level 9s, first of all, you cannot make any simple errors because that's simple, meaning past tense errors, okay? And when I say you cannot, it means, okay, maybe you made one, okay, maybe one. But continuously making errors in the past, it's not acceptable for 7, 8, or 9, okay? And then on top of that, 9s or higher, this is where we need to start to use our language knowledge and be stronger. Past perfect, stronger, right? Right there, right here. Passive, very strong. And past modals, very strong. Okay? And then in terms of vocabulary, well, I didn't put it here, but the butterflies, it's an expression. Okay, the highlight of the night, expression. Over the moon, expression. So anytime we can use those kinds of expressions and stronger vocabulary along with everything, sequencing very well, and expanding our ideas, notice that it's not only one sentence because level 7s to 9s, we need to speak for 1 minute. Okay, and it's better to speak with connection. Okay, just talking about nothing might not be exactly 7, 8, or 9. Okay, all right, very good example. So then, everyone, let's get to repeating it. Okay, so 1 minute, 1 minute. So again, everyone, let's remember that it's about the totality of everything, right? So I'm going to be speaking here in a minute with good flow and good intonation. And please pay attention to the flow and intonation and how I connect. We also need to pause in between. It's not about speed. This is not about speed reading or speed talking. I'm trying to illustrate how I would speak this in the most native way possible. Okay? All right, here I go. I'd like to speak about a time I felt very energetic. First of all, this happened when I was a high school student and I was participating in my school volleyball team. Also, I had always played volleyball with my friends, so I loved playing for the team. At that time, I remember feeling so energetic because it was the championship game and my team had never been city champions. So I think we all had the butterflies during the match. Then the highlight of the night came when I spiked the ball to give us the victory. Personally, that time was so memorable because my team won the city championship for the first time. So we were over the moon. And also, I was selected as the game's MVP, so I couldn't have been more thrilled. Okay, everyone. All right. So, of course, if you have these answers all laid out for you, you can read them well. Now, the thing is that what we need to do to practice is we need to try and read this answer, practice the sequencing, practice the grammar usage, look at the vocabulary, and try to use that first. Try to understand why it's being used, and then trying to use it by yourself in other examples. That would be great. And how do we improve our fluency? Well, level 7 and 8s, I think you should be able to say this in 1 minute. I said it in 50 seconds, okay? Level 9s, we can definitely say this answer in less than a minute. 7 8s, we need to push ourselves a little bit. But of course, if you can say this kind of answer by yourself without, well, not from memory, then you know that you have improved, okay? All right, very good. So now I will be leaving a link to this example. I will be leaving a link in the description box so you can practice, okay? Also, I'll be leaving links to past perfect so you can practice past perfect and also past modals, okay? So, and then everyone, let's not forget about our CELPIP library. Our CELPIP library has lots of examples for 7-9 for you to practice some more, okay? So I will be leaving also a link at the bottom of that sample question. There is the link to purchase a library pass. And with discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription for only $10.99. That is a great deal, okay, everyone? Maybe because it's Black Friday deal, okay? And of course, that's for all the library, for all the listening parts, for the reading parts, writing and speaking. And don't forget that our library includes all current past CELPIP exams plus extra of our examples here at CELPIP Library. So that's nearly, we're going to get close to 100 examples soon. It's only about 60 right now, but we're updating weekly and monthly, okay? Don't forget, everyone, practice makes perfect.